Have you heard of the term protest behaviors in relationships? If not, you're going to want to stick around and learn about it because you might be doing it. Especially if you have a curiosity or an understanding of attachment styles, protest behaviors show up quite regularly. So I did this in a situationship that I wanted to share what that experience was like because I recognized that I was doing it, and I even owned it to the other person so they recognized it really wasn't about what they were doing. It was my need for attention. So what that looked like was we were texting back and forth and I started to get triggered. I wasn't liking the way that the conversation was going. So instead of maturely and calmly in an adult way stating that, I started doing protest behaviors. Now for me in that situation, as a fearful avoidant or disorganized attachment, to me it was almost like I would almost want to punish them by ignoring them, by not talking to them, by going, I'm not talking to you. I'm taking away my attention from you because I'm hurt or I'm upset. Now mind you, self-aware, super self-aware, logic comes in of like, this is dumb, this is childish. But my emotions, which were driving the bus at the moment, were like, no, he deserves it, right? Like, no, I'm hurt. Like, he has to chase me now. These are all what are called protest behaviors, in that I'm almost trying to, like a child, use an immature handling of a situation based on really strong emotions because I'm uncomfortable, because it's really hard to communicate when the emotion is really strong. Other protest behaviors are picking fights or testing the relationship, right? So if maybe you're dating somebody new and they seem too good to be true, or you're having feelings of like not being worthy or deserving, then you'll like put them in situations kind of unintentionally, a little subconscious in there, to test the relationship of like, how messy can I be for them to stick around or to run away? For me specific, it was passive aggressive communication. So it was giving the silent treatment as a punishment for something that wasn't really something they did wrong. I just got hurt by what they said. Threatening to leave, badgering them, constantly texting them and calling them and trying to check in on them, stonewalling them, which would mean like with emotionally withdrawing from them, or even going as far as trying to make them jealous, right? Like, oh, let me go flirt with that guy over there because I'm hurting. So instead of owning our hurt and being able to communicate in a rational kind of vulnerable way, we use these defense mechanisms, or what are called protest behaviors, to try to get the attention that we're actually seeking, just in a really unhealthy, toxic, or what I like to call maladaptive way. So how do we curb that? Well, first is creating the awareness that you're doing it, right? Usually in hindsight, you can look at it like, maybe that wasn't the healthiest way to communicate with somebody that I'm actually trying to create something with. If you're not actually trying to create a healthy relationship with somebody, that should be your sign to get out of that dynamic. Also, addressing the emotion first. Usually in any sort of conflict or uncomfortable situation, if you can address the emotion first and allow the emotion to come down, logic, the prefrontal cortex, this fun little front part of your brain, can kick in. But when your emotion, the back part of the brain, the amygdala, is online, your logic isn't necessarily online. So either give yourself some time and space, be able to communicate, even journal out, write out, not necessarily text out how you feel, but writing, get your logic to start to kick on, or go to bed. I know people are like, I'll never go to bed angry. Sometimes you should. Sometimes otherwise you'll say things that you regret. You have to learn your nervous system and what your nervous system needs to regulate itself before you act in logic, right? And if your partner is like really confused, or they're not sure what's happening, or all of a sudden you've had a change of behavior and they're getting caught off guard, it's going to trigger their survival skills, which is fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. And then you guys are just in this whole emotional battle, and it's not healthy for anybody, and it's not actually progressing the relationship. It's both of your kind of either attachment styles or your survival skills coming into play, in which case no logical problem solving or rational problem solving is going to happen. So address the emotion first. What is the emotion you're feeling? So part of emotional intelligence is going, wow, I feel really hurt by what that said. And you can kind of feel like almost like you're choking and you're just like hurt by it, that heartache, that pain, that knife stab, whether it was intentional from your partner or not. That's what you have to calm down first before you start to have the emotional response, so you don't go into these protest behaviors. Once you can address the address the nervous system, even by some breath work or some skills or coping tools to be able to regulate your own nervous system before you address whatever it was that hurt you, that will help your communication improve wildly with your partner, because then you can actually go into problem solving rather than reactive kind of emotion-based confrontation, which doesn't really get any of you any closer to connection. In fact, it creates more disconnect. And usually the issues we run into in relationships is a constant disconnection and no repairing of the connection. So until you can get your emotion come down, you can't repair the connection. So leave me a note in the comments as to what is your common protest behavior. Mine is typically the passive aggressive or stonewalling, where I like emotionally pull back, or I just like shut down and give them the silent treatment. Yay, love that. But I'm working on it. At least I'm aware of it, right? What's yours? And also how I regulate my nervous system is breathwork, like somatic release breathwork. This is like an hour-long pattern of breathing with music and cues and prompts that really helps you heal. So it's deep-seated shit. 10 out of 10 recommend. And I do that inside of our Selfaware Army community. You can join through the link in the bio. It's $19 a month. You get 2 breathwork sessions, true group coaching calls. Chef's kiss if you want to accelerate your healing. It's good shit.